Good morning, everybody. All right. Good morning, Truckee, for October. My name is Raven Whittington. I'm an attorney with Porter Simon. I am the chairman of the Chamber Board, and welcome to all of you for being here. We're starting a little later this morning, and people will probably be filtering in because if you came 267, you saw that the traffic light was on flashing red, which has backed things up significantly. It took somebody 40 minutes to get here, I'm told. So thank you for all being here. You either didn't come that way or you're very, very early birds, so hats off. All right, this morning we have updates from our business community partners. Carissa Binkley will be here, the Economic Vitality Analyst for the town of Truckee. Jan Hollan, the CEO of Lyft Workspace, and Jessica Penman, President and CEO of the Truckee Chamber of Commerce. We have our presenting sponsors, Tahoe Forest Healthcare System and Kelly Brothers Painting. Latte sponsors, Town of Truckee, Auerbach Engineering, East River PR, Porter Simon, Tahoe Truckee Media, Truckee Tahoe Unified School District, 101.5 FM, Truckee Tahoe Radio, Sierra Sun and Moonshine Inc., Tahoe Truckee Community Foundation, JK Architecture and Engineering, Goldring Travel, Boreal Woodward Tahoe, and the Contractors Association of Truckee Tahoe. Our espresso sponsors, Dixon Realty, Lyft Truckee Co-Work, Conference and Wellness Space, Mountain Hardware and Sports, NV5, Peak Digital Studios, Mount Lincoln Construction, High West Law, and Elements at Coldstream. As always, thanks to the Chamber team, Jessica Penman, Ruth Gearsey, and Melissa Williams, and the board that puts on who these speakers are going to be: Kelly Cutler, Mayumi Peacock, Ernie Grossman, Gerald Herrick, Tony Lashbrook, Jim Porter, Deb Bryan, Ted Owens, Jess Carr. As always, thanks to Rory in the back with Tahoe Truckee Media for handling the AV, and the town of Truckee for providing these council chambers to us. Now, let's go around the room and introduce all of you. Ted, you look eager to say your name. Okay, well, I know Jim is. Look, he's standing. Thank you. All righty. Kathleen, certainly before Jim, you take precedence over him.
I'm just going to be sitting here all by myself.
Yeah.
I'm Kathleen Library.
Jim Porter used to be Raven's boss.
Yeah, that's right. And now we know we have a Llewellyn shared story, right?
Yes, that's right. That's right.
All right.
My middle name and your uncle's or something.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
My name's Bob Barnett. I'm on the hospital board and running for re-election. My background is I was a trial lawyer for 45 years in the medical legal field, and that's why I bring a value to the board. Thank you.
Mr. Chamblin.
Dale Chamblin, hospital board, and also this will be my 15th year as a ski instructor at Palisades Tahoe.
Nice.
Jody Litster, Marketing Consulting and Project Management.
Carissa for the Tahoe Truckee Community Foundation.
Martha Russell, Tahoe Music Alive.
Katie, Truckee Sanitary District.
Mark Wesley, Truckee Sanitary District and the Truckee Donner Rec and Park Board.
Rob Darjankevich, I'm running for Tahoe Forest Board.
Hi, I'm Angel Schaller. I'm with the Old Lumberyard and Elevation Escape, Truckee's newest escape rooms.
I'm Kirsten. I'm the new director of sales at the Hampton Inn, just next door. But I've been in the Truckee Tahoe area for about 25 years. But I'm excited to be more active in the local community.
Great. Let's go here.
Kelly Moretti, Truckee Hills Lions Club.
Good morning, Mark Blatt with Primerica Financial Services. Our offices are right over here in Phoenix Building, also representing B&I Truckee Tahoe. Thank you.
I'm Dave Olson with the Truckee Sunrise Rotary Club.
Hello, I'm Amber Burke with the Tahoe Truckee Unified School District and the Chamber Board.
Jan and Louise, let's get you guys and we'll jump in the back.
Okay, Jan Zabriskie, Truckee Town Council, Nevada County Transportation Commission, Nevada County Local Agency Formation Commission.
Louise Zabriskie, New Library, Friends of the Library Board.
All right.
Sierra Buttes Trail Stewardship, nonprofit based out of Quincy, and my name's Kelly Habibi.
All the way in the back, yeah.
I'm Pamela Grant, and I'm with Congressman Kevin Kiley's office.
Good morning, Leslie Williams, Sierra Small Business Development Center, Associate Director.
Yeah, I'm Brett Logan with the Truckee Tahoe Community Chorus. I'm actually with the singing police, so I'm here to arrest all the closet singers and been singing in their communities. Sir.
All right, thank you.
Hi, I'm Karen Abraham, just a community member, healthcare technology leader. Happy to be here.
I'm Kristen Baird. I'm a community member as well and also a marketing consultant.
Leslie Swen, LSC Transportation Consultants.
Anna Grant Nielsen, Dixon Realty, and also Food Gamiana.
Morning, I'm Steve Teixeira. My company is Sustainable Community Advocates, and I'm part of the Truckee Citizens for Essential Services. Yes, I'm Measure E. Thank you.
Hey, I'm Ryan Faya. I'm an engineer over at JJAE.
Eric?
Eric Goldroom Travels.
I'm Jessica Grost. I work for Ski Bellas right across the street.
Bert Ginterkin. I'm a longtime local resident, retired airline pilot, and candidate for the Truckee Tahoe Airport Board.
Katie?
Katie Schaefer, East River PR Marketing and Junior.
Good morning, Kristen York, Sierra Business Council and the Tahoe Truckee Community Foundation.
I'm Alex Mihalski. I'm with the Truckee Downer PUD.
Morning, Grant Wiltshire with High West Law.
Thank you. Karen Wilkins with Leadership North Lake Tahoe Truckee.
Christian Edwards with Timberline Construction, and I'm also Truckee Tahoe BNI.
Great, thank you. I believe we got everybody. We'll do our speakers, and Jess, you're going to start?
Yeah.
All right, Jessica Penman from the Truckee Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you. Unfortunately, I tried to get out of this, but since it's our program, I was told I can't. So I'm going to go ahead and just give an update on the programming that the Truckee Chamber has been working on for the last year and a half. And I didn't follow our own rule. We tell people they can have 12 slides, and I have 31. So we're going to go ahead and go through this quickly. But so about the Truckee Chamber of Commerce, we have been around since 1912. We're one of the oldest organizations in the community. We currently have about 545 members, and we operate under 3 strategic pillars: advocate for business, bolster economic prosperity, and cultivate community connection. We have 3 staff members currently, Melissa and Ruth, who you saw out there, and then myself. And then we also have 8 part-time concierges that run the Welcome Center in downtown Truckee. I'm not going to read all of these people, but thank you to the board of directors, especially the ones that are in the room. We have a great board of 11 business leaders in the community. All right, so I broke the presentation up into our 3 pillars. So the first one is going to be our advocate for business. So last year we started a government action committee. This committee meets once a month with different local electeds, learns about different propositions, and also created our first ever public policy platform that allows the Truckee Chamber to advocate for our local businesses. Our next meeting is actually tomorrow. It's open to any member, and we'll have representatives that are running for office introducing themselves and talking a little bit about their platform. If you're interested in coming, just let myself or Raven know. We can get you on that list. This year, we started a new program in partnership with CatPack on how to run for office workshops. We had over 28 open elected positions in our community and region this year. We felt it was really important for people to understand what it means to run for office. They covered how to get started, campaign marketing, finance, workload expectations, campaign strategy, and we had about 30 people go through those workshops. We also run candidate forums in partnership with CatPack, Tahoe Sierra Board of Realtors, Sierra Sun Moonshine Inc., and Tahoe Truckee Media, and TED. And we had those 2 weeks ago, and they were a big hit. You can find them on our website. We've had over 600 people watch them already if you're interested in learning more about your local candidates. And this year we actually added something where we had 2 high school students that took the pro and con position on Measure E, researched it, and then presented it, and it was awesome. So I highly recommend you go watch the second night to see them present. We also created a voter guide this year. We sent questions out to all of those candidates that are in contested elections. You can scan that QR code to get it. It's also on our website. And this is just a great another resource for people to learn about who's running for office. Our next pillar is bolster economic prosperity, which is where the bulk of our work goes. We're currently in the process of doing a business landscape study. This is us trying to figure out everyone that's operating in the town of Truckee. As most of you probably know, we don't have business licenses here. So we're working to try to figure out who is actually a business in this community. And it sounds easy, and it's not. So we have been working on this for about 1.5 years, and are still in the throes of this project, but hopefully we'll have a pretty comprehensive list at the end. We're also currently on a business listening tour. This is where we're meeting with 30 to 40 of our businesses throughout town, members and not members, to understand exactly what their troubles are. I think a lot of times we think we know what everyone is struggling with, but we're finding a lot of interesting information when we're meeting with these businesses. If you're a business in the room and would like to participate in this, please let me know. We're still in the process of this. And this is something that we'll do every fall. Business education is a big piece of what we do. So we do a monthly Lunch and Learn series. This was relaunched in March of 2023. Presentation topics have include DEI planning. We did a business resiliency presentation last week, which was very apropos with everything going on the East Coast. AI, employment law. Our next one is on November 13th, and it's actually about how to take advantage of your chamber membership benefits, because there's a lot of benefits in there that I don't think people realize they get when they're a chamber member. We also launched a new program in 2024 called Town Talks. This is a partnership with the town of Truckee. They're quarterly on the last Monday, and they're really focused on a community conversation. So there's no presentations. We bring experts into the room on different topics to have people have conversations, brainstorm solutions, and things like that. We've done one on business safety, the unhoused issues in our town, downtown parking, and then on Monday, October 28th, we'll be doing one on winter preparedness, and actually the PUD and the school district will also be there to answer questions around that, and the Lift actually hosts those for us each time. And then there's this program, Good Morning Truckee, which people don't know, but the chamber runs this program. Last year, or for fiscal year 23-24, we had over 675 attendees. We really appreciate you all getting up early to be here. We have seen an increase in participation since we moved the time to 8. And we are working right now to think about programming for 2025. So if there's anything you would like to hear for this program, please let us know. We also do our networking mixers and ribbon cuttings. This is one of my favorite things that we do. We had over 700 attendees at our mixers last year. We take July off because everyone is too busy. Our next mixer is on October 24th at Bar of America. It will also be a ribbon cutting to celebrate the expansion of their new, of their location. And then you can see there a ribbon cutting from Elevation Escapes. We also run Truckee Jobs Collective, which is a regional and local job board. When I came on 2 years ago, I was shocked at how successful this local job board is. That is incredibly difficult to do, and the team's done a great job with this. We did a site refresh for this year to make it a little more user-friendly. We had over 1,400 jobs posted in fiscal year 23-24. We're up to 155 employers with profiles on that. We send out an email each week with new jobs that has 3,400 subscribers on it with an average open rate of 48.5. And I know a lot of people in this room use this to find employees. This year we launched a great program called Truckee North Tahoe Tech Teens. This program was a partnership between the chamber, the town, the school district, the PUD, the hospital, and the airport. We took 13 students over 6 weeks, and they went to each location and learned about the different technology careers that exist within our community. At the hospital, they got to see a mock leg replacement with a robot, or knee replacement with a robot, not a whole leg. At the airport, they got to go up into the tower. At the PUD, they got to use different equipment to listen for leaks and things like that. We're really excited to bring this back next year, and we're adding a public safety day where we're partnering with North Lake Tahoe Fire and CHP. We are looking at ways to integrate the lake into this program a little bit more, as it is open to the whole school district. We are launching a new program in December with the SBC called Futurepreneurs Pitch Week. This will be a boot camp style program December 2nd through the 6th, where each night students will come and learn how to pitch a business, create a business plan, learn about marketing, finance, and then on Friday we'll have a a event that's open to the public here where they'll each pitch their idea and then there'll be a winner. So we're really excited about this. Jess Carr from the SBC and I have been working hard to bring this together, and we're excited to see it come to fruition in December. We also host the Truckee Job Fair each year. This year it was in May, and it didn't snow where it did snow the year before. We had 34 employers with over 200 job seekers, everyone from students looking for part-time work to career professionals looking for full-time work. And we know that people were actually hired on the spot, and we'll do this again in the spring. Cultivate Community Connection is our last pillar. So we do a community connections program, which is in partnership with the town of Truckee. We have a newsletter that goes out once a month. This letter really covers volunteer opportunities, highlights events that are happening. We always highlight a nonprofit. It's a great way for people to understand what is going on in the community and just another place to get information. We also do 6 events a year. These include VIP seating at our 4th of July parade. We also do 2 groups each year for the Haunted Tour. We provide Santa for the Roundhouse and Sierra Community House and Food Hub's block party. We did an open house at Kids Zone. We had over 200 members attend our Sugar Rush tubing event, which will come back in January this year. We also publish the Truckee magazine quarterly. 14,000 copies of that are printed and distributed to every address in Truckee. They're also available at the Welcome Center. They're geared towards locals, not visitors. If you haven't picked it up recently, I highly recommend that you do. And it really is aimed to connect our community together towards locals and make local business people aware of local businesses. We did just switch our publisher for that for this next one, so we're excited about that as well. We also run the Core Values Fund, which actually opened yesterday for this season, or this cycle. So this is a small granting program that we run with the Community Foundation that really is looks to give marketing dollars to smaller nonprofits that are doing events within the town of Truckee boundaries. That's a list of who was funded last year. This program's been going on for quite a while, and it's very impactful, and we're really proud to be able to put this on. We're also a partner in the Cultural District. How many people know we have a Cultural District? All right, that's okay. So the Truckee Cultural District has been around since 2017. We got reestablished last year with the first time with funding. So the Cultural District's job is to really bring awareness to our artists and creatives and our history. Kelly Cutler is its first program manager, and we help to promote that program. We also help to start a mini granting program through that also, where they're granting out funds to different artists. Each year we do our Top of the Town annual awards, which is one of the most fun nights of the year for us. This year was the second year we held it at the Alder Creek Adventure Center up in Tahoe Donner to celebrate our award winners. This year, Top of the Town Business of the Year was Sugar Bowl. Nonprofit of the Year was the Boys and Girls Club. Employee of the Year was Heather Schwartz with SOS Outreach. Community Impact was the Barracuda. And New Business of the Year was Thrifty Tales. So we had a great time celebrating everybody, and we'll look forward to doing that again next September. We also run the 4th of July Parade, which I don't know most people realize that is a chamber event. This year was one of our largest fundraising years for that. We had a great sponsorship outreach. For the first time, the Truckee Chamber actually had a float in the parade, and it's a really great community event that we will continue to run. And then quickly, we also run the Truckee Welcome Center, which is another sub-tier, I guess, of what we do. In fiscal year 23-24, we saw over 140,000 visitors through the Welcome Center, and while this is down from pre-COVID, we are on the upswing. This picture is from when the big boy came through town, and we saw over 2,000 people through the Welcome Center in a single day, which a busy day for us is like 400. So 2,000 was a little overwhelming. We also are the Greyhound and Amtrak stop, so helping with our transportation needs in our community. We did rebrand. We were a California Welcome Center for the last several years, but now we are back to just being the Truckee Welcome Center, so you'll see new signage around town as we lean more into being a local Welcome Center instead of a California Welcome Center. And then thanks to funding from Visit Truckee Tahoe, we are working on putting out some new digital kiosks where people can actually get information without having to talk to a person. So we're excited for that. And those should be out by the end of November. We also do visitor collateral, so hike and bike guides, dining guides, our visitor guide. We also print the bike trail guide, historic walking map. So there's lots of information that people can gather from the Welcome Center. It's really an important asset for our community. And that's it. 30 slides in like 10 minutes.
Thank you, Jessica, and to everybody at the Chamber for everything that you do. One thing that I was going to plug, the Government Action Committee for the Chamber is something that a lot of the members said, hey, we want the Chamber and the Chamber Board to advocate for certain issues within the community. To date, we haven't had as much participation from the members that we thought we would. So if you want the Chamber to take positions on things, let us know. Reach out to us. Come to the Government Action Committee meetings tomorrow at 10. Here, not here in this room, but here over in the Trout Creek conference room, which is just across the hall. Meet some of the candidates, hear what they have to say. Important to get involved so we can get involved. All right, Jan Hollan with the Lyft Workspace. Jan?
Thank you, Raven. Thank you for the Chamber for inviting me up here. I started out with photos of really a handful of the 225 members, and really I think if we start thinking about the expanded community that we host at the Lyft Workspace, it's really certainly in the 400 to 500, and it's a handful of photos, including one person that's in this room, I think. So. But really what we're about at the Lyft Workspace is about creating community connections, creating social capital by creating a great place to work. And we are not far from here. We actually started out in 2014, so 10 years ago, in a building that was just a stone's throw from here in that direction, and it was about a 3,000 square foot space. And after COVID, we somehow made it through COVID in that building, and we had about 60 members before COVID. We had every day we had like 30 people working in the building, and this was like March 2020, and I was thinking, okay, this is not gonna work. We're going to have to shut down. And of course, we eventually had to shut down. And really the only way we made it through, a lot of co-work spaces did not make it through COVID. And the reason why we made it through was because we had a community that was really committed to keeping it alive. There were quite a few members that even though they couldn't come, they continued paying their memberships. And I was also in a fortunate position where I could ride my bike from my home to go and manage the place as needed, and a lot of the members pitched in and cleaned up and just managed. So that's how we made it through. Just this last year in 2023, we heard that Clear Capital was also closing down their office because of the post-COVID, and the theme of this talk is really the evolving workforce in Truckee. And on some level, I think we know that knowledge work and let's just say remote work has been a thing in the Truckee area for decades, really, but it's really accelerated in the late 2010s, and of course COVID really brought that to the fore. And the interesting thing is that while a lot of offices were closing down, Clear Capital was a good example. At some point, there was, I believe, 150 or more employees in Truckee working every day in this office. By the time we took it over, there were probably no more than 3 or 4 people that would visit it every other day. So we had this 11,000 square foot building that was being heated, people were paying resources to keep it open, and most people had chosen to work at home and stay at home. What's interesting is that what I found is that people like working in the office, they just don't like working with their bosses. So there's something. So if you're a boss, that might be something you think about. But, you know, at the heart of what we're trying to do, and this is a big word salad up here, and I try not to put too many words up there, but I basically Googled all the business jargon you could find and put it all up there. And essentially what we're building is an entrepreneurial ecosystem, a social enterprise incubator. And really the goal is to support people, planet, and prosperity. The Sierra Business Council and a lot of other folks talk about the triple bottom line. You might also consider this, you know, social capital, natural capital, and financial capital. I just like to treat people like people, and we also need our environment. So it keeps it really simple. One of our goals is to integrate wellness and work. I don't actually have pictures of our gym, and you can just see in the corner of this space, and this is looking at about half of the space, we actually have a physical therapy office there. Synergy, Scott Williams is partnered with us, and I literally, while some of you guys were waiting in traffic, I rode my bike to the lift, and I actually went to our morning workout class. I had to leave a little early, but then walked over here. So that's part of, you know, the vision and the beauty of being able to integrate wellness and work in one space. And you know, this is part of where we're growing. And we're trying to create a multi-generational, I mean, we already have multi-generational, we already have mixed income learning community. And the whole idea is that people, we have a lot of social capital, a lot of amazing people come to this community from all over. And I've noticed this since, you know, I first started spending time here in the 90s, is that this was a lot like these metropolitan areas like San Francisco, or you could say like New York or other places, but people are drawn to these our natural environment, but they stay for the community. And our goal is to grow this project onto West River Street. And speaking of Carissa, our goal is to grow it to be part of the river revitalization efforts that the town's making. The last part of that learning community is one of the great things is that people like volunteer to share their expertise. They're like, I would love to do a workshop on X, and it's not because they're getting paid to do that, or hey, I'm really interested in this. So we have these learning lunches about once a week, and they're open to the entire public. We're not great at publicizing those. Some of you may be getting our newsletters, but really there's very few events that are members only. That's the idea, is to make it an asset for the community. I mentioned that we're 10 years old. We're forming a non-profit community benefit, 501c3. And the goal, I mean, really, it's basically taking a passion project, a project that I've been doing for almost 7 years, and really not mostly putting money into it, to give other community members, community partners an opportunity to support our growing nonprofits. And, you know, 10 to 15% of our of our members are sponsored social enterprises, and I have some examples of that. Fortunately, post-COVID, I'm not doing this by myself anymore. I mean, obviously, I always had members. We always had on and off a community manager. Now we're growing our team, and we also recently hired a general manager who isn't in the main slide. She's I call her general manager in training, but Connie Galippi is joining us from she ran a 501c3 for quite a long time, and we're excited. And I would just say that the thing that I've noticed is that when you put out a job that is reasonably compensated and actually is more than about money, but it's about contributing to the community, you're going to get inundated with applications. And they live here, and they want to find a place to work that connects their interest in making a difference and making a living. So I won't bore you with, we do have some subtle values, and we have what internally we call Wahoo at work. I don't think there's a sign anywhere around that says Wahoo at work, but people are like, they walk in and they're like, I kind of like the vibe of this place. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. What is it? Well, I'm not really sure. I don't know what it is. So we're careful that we don't like put our values up on the wall and then not stick to them, right? Our goal is to like keep our values a little bit more subtle and then try to live them every day. So a couple of them are really love more, fear less, more we, less me, create more, consume less, and they kind of go on from there. But anyway, these are on our coffee mugs, so that's kind of the more subtle way that you can see what we're about. But you know, we've over the years, and certainly now, I mean, this is just a handful of the multinationals that our members represent. I mean, they're on calls, they're making things happen. During COVID, I had we shut down the place, but I had a gentleman that's like, please, I need a place to work. I'm running Amazon Web Services, and you know, I've got 4 kids at home. They're all at school, and I need a place to work. So we're like, okay, we'll figure it out. We'll put you in. And then somebody was running Khan Academy. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Khan Academy, but they were essentially running all this, running schooling for the world. I mean, it was like right here out of Truckee, you know, and they were living at the not the artist lofts, Coburn Crossing, and they're like, I don't have any internet there. I need to come in. So what we'd do is we'd have, you know, maybe 5 or 6 people in their own rooms, and while really the rest of the membership supported it. But a lot of local businesses, again, this is just a handful of the logos. Placemate, our locals housing folks. I didn't put on, but our folks that are working with the town of Truckee for the financial analysis of the River Revitalization Steering Committee, things like that. We have a climate hub. That we have a monthly social. Everyone's welcome to that, but quite a few different folks, and some of these folks really love to geek out on climate and energy stuff. I'm really proud of our social enterprises. Some of these pay rent, but most of them are fully sponsored, like our friends at the library. I actually just need to add, well, I mean, this is not inclusive, but just yesterday we added Gateway Mountain Center because the executive director said, hey, I've got this really important meeting with, you know, I've got a really important meeting with the state, and I can't let my internet drop, and it needs to be quiet, and I need a phone booth. And so that's, you know, what the lift's about. One thing we have noticed is that people are spending a lot more time on the phone. They're spending a lot more time, well, mostly on video calls. And but you know, this is Ashley from Sierra Watershed Education Partners, SWEP. They're mostly in the schools teaching kids about environment and the watershed and climate change. But they're, you know, half the time or a quarter of the time, she needs to meet with people and plan her day and organize things. She's a program manager. Yeah, we're finding that people spend just a ton more time in these pods, and we now have 13 of these things, and I could probably have 20. But you know, we still like that, and we crave that human connection. So if it's really not amazing to be a remote worker and work in your PJs all day long, every day, in the, you know, somewhere in your shaded home in Glenshire. It seems perfect, but after about a month or two or a year or two, you're starting to think, hey, maybe I need to interact with people. There's some hybrid. A lot of things are going hybrid now, so we have those capabilities, and we put on a variety of events for our members, including a member lunch. So that's how I was able to somehow corner a couple of dogs and a bunch of people to be in a photo. But I'll wrap up really with one thought here, is that we're evolving all the time, and we have to evolve. And I hear all the time, and I even see it on bumper stickers and stuff, like, Truckee used to be great. You guys hear that? Like, Truckee used to be great. I'm thinking, which Truckee are you talking about? Like, we're always changing. Is it the Truckee where there were brothels and gunfights in Truckee? Are you reminiscing that one? Or when I moved here, there was no sidewalk and no bike lane, no.
It was great, I'm telling you.
Yeah. So I, and I know that I'm kind of preaching to the choir because you're here you're here at 7 in the morning or 7:30 in the morning to make Truckee, continue making Truckee great. But I think that when a lot of people were saying, hey, no more people, this is crazy, COVID, all this, we at the Lift were saying, okay, well, we might not be able to welcome you today, but we want to welcome you, and we want you to feel welcome. And these are people that are, on nonprofit boards. They're starting new companies in town. They're running for the airport district board. They're building libraries. I mean, these are amazing people. And many of them have arrived in the last few years. And I'm glad that this group welcomes them. So thank you.
All right, Jan Hollan with the Lift Workspace. Thank you. Up next, Carissa Binkley. You made it. All right, Town of Truckee Economic Vitality Analyst.
Awesome. Good morning, everybody. So as Raven introduced me, I'm Carissa, the Town of Truckee Economic Development Program Analyst. Today I'll be talking about the town's economic development programs. So just a little framework. For those of you who know the general plan, I'll chat about that a little bit more later. But to me, this is the best framework for everyone asks, what is economic development in the town? So the guiding principle from the town's economic development element of the general plan says, build upon the town's existing assets to diversify and strengthen the local economy in ways that increase resilience and sustainability, improve prosperity for Truckee's residents and businesses, and are appropriate and responsive to Truckee's community and natural environment. That principle was wordsmithed over a lot long before I got here, and to me that is the framework for what economic development in the town is. So what economic development programs does the town currently have? Business Navigator is one of them. So I help people one-on-one, just personally. We call it Business Navigator Services. Personalized support connecting town departments, community support services, and external resources depending on the business's needs. It can be very intimidating if you want to start a business in this town, not know where to go. The town does not have a business license program, so some people think that that means it's easy and simple, but it can be surprisingly complicated. And I am a resource to businesses if they want to come and understand, when I walk into the town hall, where do I go? Why is the police department right there? Where do I go? What is the Nevada County Health doing? I am the resource. I don't have all of the answers, but I'm the liaison connecting all the dots and pointing everybody in the right direction. So another important key is our economic development partners. So these are our stakeholders. You can see their logos on the screen. It's important for the town to be connected to all of our stakeholders in our town. And so I attend the board meetings and have regular check-ins with the Truckee Chamber of Commerce, the Downtown Merchants Association, as well as Visit Truckee Tahoe. So I mentioned this briefly before, and I know many of you in this room are very well aware, but I'll just explain. The town has what we call the 2040 General Plan. It influences a large portion of future economic development programs. So the general plan, for those who don't know, every city and county in the state has to have a general plan as a blueprint or a constitution for local government's long-term future development. There are chapters, you can see on the screen, there are chapters or elements for land use, community character, mobility, housing, and of course my favorite one, for economic development. So I like to point out a few goals and actions. There's 21 pages just in the economic development element of the general plan. And all of those pieces and parts are things that we'll be working towards over the next 17 years with our partners. The town cannot do any of these alone. We are here to represent the community. And so just a few examples of goals and actions out of the general plan for economic development is business diversity. Create programs to incentivize the diversity of businesses with a focus on living wage employment. Industrial space. Ensure the availability of manufacturing, business park, and light industrial space to support expansion of local businesses. Mitigation of business costs. Develop measures to reduce or mitigate the cost of doing business in our town. Resident-serving businesses. Support the retention of Truckee's businesses that provide resident-serving goods and services. Childcare. Develop an incentive program to facilitate the opening and ongoing success of new childcare facilities. Truckee River, and we'll talk about this more in a few slides. Create a Truckee River corridor program that implements the goals of the Downtown River Revitalization Strategy. So you can see this is just a sampling. It's a wide list, like I said, 21 pages of everything that our community spoke and spent time on developing what we want for our future. And this is will lead to the future work plan of economic development. Oops, I went too slide. So I mentioned River is in the general plan. So one of the first steps towards implementing the general plan is the formation of the River Revitalization Steering Committee. And this is under economic development just because it will touch everything in our town. I think for those of us who know and have been here a long time, someone's visiting our town, you drive them down East and West River Street, no one sits there and thinks, wow, that's so cool that those river is celebrated, the river is accessible, I can't wait to go down to the river. We know from living here how wonderful the river is, but it's not obvious at first glance. So just a touch of where we've been. The town's first general plan recognized the Truckee River as a town primary asset. There was a plan in 2005, a strategy, the Downtown River Revitalization Strategy. 2006 was the 2025 general plan, so this is an ongoing general plan update. 2023, the 2040 general plan was adopted that again pointed back towards celebrating the river. And in 2023, at the guidance of our town council, the River Revitalization Steering Committee was formed. So it is a committee of, I believe we're at 18 community members. They are business people, residents, property owners. We have members at large or just interested community members, and it is a force of a group. They are a group to be reckoned with, and they want to make things happen, and we're going to be making things happen. So where we're going, just a little context. In the East and West River Street corridor, we have a lot of change happening right now just from the town, just public investments. The Lazy Trail extension, if you haven't been out there yet, it's amazing. I suggest it. The West River Streetscape, if you've seen the utilities have been underground, there's sidewalks. The West River Street Park is going to be opening soon. And all of that led to our committee working hard, realizing that this is the time to touch base on this again. This is a long-standing goal, it's just never happened, and here we are. So just some themes that have come out of the work so far. Since 2023, our group has met monthly. There's also action teams and subcommittees, because there's a lot of work to get done. And so just some of the themes here: restore, revive, and reimagine. You can see on the screen just examples of what they mean to the group. And in reality, you can see the Venn diagram there. When all of these three are in balance is when it's going to be the right fit for the river and what we're looking to move towards. So this is a slide of all the different community outreach and some of the work that has happened through this committee. We've done 101.5 community spotlights. We have done events. That top middle one is at the Lift Workspace. Thank you, Jan. We were out at Truckee Day with a booth. We were at Wild Cherries. We went to Donna Creek Mobile Home Park. And the bottom left is a mapping exercise that our group did after the feedback we received from the community. So we tried to meet the community where they were at. We went to the trailhead at the East River Street. Tried to hear what our community's priorities are regarding the river. And the bottom left section is an example where our committee was doing a detailed mapping exercise. It sounds easy and simple to celebrate the river, to make it accessible, to have pedestrian-oriented connectivity, but when you get down to it on the actual map level, it can be surprisingly complicated. And so I wanted to share this consolidated vision plan. This is nothing set in stone. This is not something that we're, going to change zoning based on or anything yet, but this is just an example just to show some of the work that our group has completed at this point. And to me, the big takeaway from this is mixed use is what our community and our committee is leaning towards. So there's a lot of mixed use, open space, and park. And I think we all realize that these line with what our community goals may be for East and West River Street. So this is just another example of some of the work. We have a consultant working with this group, and they created these reimagine concepts, restore, revive, reimagine. Like I said, the 3 themes. And we got permission from the property owners before doing these concepts. And so this is just an example. We all know where the spot is near the Legacy Trail. And just some screening and visual buffering and some restoration and slope stabilization could completely transform this parcel, just as one example. This is nothing set in stone. These are concepts applying what we've heard so far. And here's another piece on West River Street, a parcel that, if you're familiar, if you drive down that road, you see it every day. Just a little bit of infill, adaptive reuse of the existing building, and some bike and pedestrian connectivity. Again, keeping the existing building, that's something that we've heard from some of the property owners, is they're not interested in taking down or moving out their existing businesses. And so how can we work around that? How can we keep, maintain, and help stabilize our existing businesses that are important to our community while also reaching the goals of this committee and this community? So like I said, this group has some, we have our full committee of 18 members. We also have action teams and subcommittees. And one of our action teams came up with this brilliant idea of catalyst projects. They did an economic study of business and property owners in East and West River Street with the help of BAE and a consultant that helped interview all the different property owners, and Sierra Business Council as well helped with property business owner and property owner interviews. And what we heard is many business and property owners are not ready to move. They're not ready for change. They're happy where they are. And we understand that they're important to our community, and we're not trying to change anything that people aren't ready for. But some property owners were ready yesterday. They want to know when they can start. They want to know what might work, and they're ready to go. They want to partner with the town. And so to make everything fair and equitable, the suggestion was made and supported by town council last week to develop an equitable and relatively simple RFI to select 3 property owners to work in partnership with our R2SC committee on an initial catalyst planning project. So we imagine 3 different types of parcels, 3 different properties, and they can serve as the catalyst showing the community what can happen, what change may work for our community and business and property owners together, where this can be a win-win, and show the rest of the parcels that when they're ready, more change can happen and the town will be partners along that process. So like, we want it to be very simple. We don't want this to be something where we expect somebody who has owned a parcel for 50 years to have to put together some long, lengthy report and tell us their grand plans. We literally are trying to make this a form-based application and something very simple. Who are you? What property do you own? Are you interested? Does this align with what you're talking about? Do you want to work with the town? Great. Come on board. Let's talk to you. So that's R2SC, a huge part of economic development at this point. And I do not manage housing, but I can't talk about economic development in this town without mentioning housing. Housing is a key piece of what allows our businesses to thrive. Without housing for our employees, none of this will work together. So the town has been very entrepreneurial minded. There are I put 4 different programs on the slide here. THAP, Lisa Locals, Rooted Renters, and our ADU program, all different types of incentives, no matter if you own a house, if you have a rental house, if you have something that you've been short-term renting, if you're trying to rent to long-term tenants, or if you have space in the backyard, you might want to build an accessory dwelling unit to house some of our local workers. The town has incentives to help make this happen. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Carissa. Actually, before we do our nonprofit speech, because we have 5 minutes, let's open up to any questions for any of the speakers. Any questions? I have one for Jan. What percentage of your members are, I guess, employees of other businesses versus their own sole proprietors, entrepreneurs? Do you have an idea of that?
I have an idea. I don't have the exact stats on that, but it's probably 75% of the people, and it's about 225 folks. So let's say 75% of people work for at least a small employer, but maybe half of them are working with the larger businesses.
Got it. Thank you. Other questions? Yes, in the back.
So, I'm a board-certified psychiatrist, and I don't hear anything mentioned about the mental health of this community, and the resources are really, really quite poor for people, and everybody thinks if I'm more economically successful, I'll be happier, and that in fact is not the truth. So I would like to ask the people that are leaders here, what are we doing about the mental health of this community? Do we have projects that really focus on that? It doesn't matter how rich or how poor you are, it has nothing to do with your mental health. So my question is just a general one. Do you even consider that? Do you think that's an important thing? Or do you think economic development is the answer to it?
Well, I know that Jan spoke to that, and I'll let him do that if you want to. There's obviously other people in the room and different programs that address that.
We could definitely chew up more than 5 minutes. We can chew up more than 5 minutes with that question, but you know, I think one of our goals at the Lift is to integrate wellness and work and you know, people on the planet, and really connection is a really important part, and that mental health is important. One of the reasons why we opened up our I didn't spend much time talking about it, but we have a wellness professional class of membership, and we're actually building out resources so that they can do more of their work. So it could be, we actually have therapists. We recently joined a member that's Gateway Mountain Center. So Gateway Mountain Center does mental health for youth, really important asset for us. But again, it's not, yeah, it's a huge question, but I think it's one of those things where it's going to take quite a few committed people to bring those resources together. And so, like as a psychiatrist, I welcome you to come and engage with our community and figure out how we can leverage everyone's skills to solve that issue.
Thank you, Jan. Yeah, Eric.
Yeah, just on that point, I think what's being missed is the vast majority of employed people that are just regular servers, people that are working in the shops, landscapers, whatever. They don't have the economic access to the Lift, and we're talking about, economic development, but not the fallout from what's the effect of not having the housing, what's the effect of displacing housing, what's the effect of developing more business, which is putting more pressure on the locals and people that want to be locals to have, I'll call it the old Truckee, the one that I moved to, where there were no sidewalks and things are a little bit more chill. Because I think there is a great conflict there, and having been here a long time, I see it, and I think that if there's going to be focus on economic development, there's got to be focus on the mental health fallout from that, so that there's support. Because you talk about community, that's community.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I think most people in the room would agree with you. It's a bigger conversation, certainly. And we are fortunate to have a number of mental health operators in this community. I mean, Gateway Mountain Center is one of them that Jan mentioned that's working with them. That's particularly for underserved youth. But yeah, it's a bigger conversation. So we're going to move that on, and we're going to have our nonprofit speaker next, Kelly Habibi with Sierra Buttes Trail Stewardship. I'm a big supporter of Sierra Buttes Trail Stewardship. I'm an advisor to the board. If you've ridden Downeyville, if you've ridden Mount Huff, if you've done any number of the races around there, then you know about Sierra Buttes Trail Stewardship. And here she is to give you a little bit about it. Kelly.
Morning, everyone. I'm going to use the microphone since I have a soft voice.
Okay, how's it going? Nice, full house. It's great to look around and see everybody in this room. So my name's Kelly. Again, I represent Sierra Buttes Trail Stewardship. We are a 501c3 nonprofit based in Quincy. And if you've never been to Quincy, it's about an hour, 20 minutes from Truckee, just up Highway 89. But Quincy is not the only area we service. We service across 5 different federal agencies. So that would include Plumas National Forest, Lassen National Forest, Tahoe, Humboldt-Toyabe, which is kind of more Reno area, and BLM. So we have quite a few agencies we work across, and Truckee is one of the communities we service as well. So I'm here today to talk about our kind of ambitious new initiative, kind of beyond our trail events and our regular trail stewardship and maintenance we do. We have recently released our Trails Master Plan, which talks about our Connected Communities project. So this project proposes about 551 miles of new trail, and that connects Truckee, Reno communities out to the east like Susanville, all the way up north to Chester, and then out west towards Downeyville, Jonesville, and Sierraville. So it's quite a big area, and that's why those federal agencies I mentioned are connected between all of those segments. So our Connected Communities project is about the communities. That's why it's called Connected Communities. It's about making trailheads from the communities themselves. The project would introduce about 12 different staging areas around 15 different mountain communities, and that includes Truckee. And these trailheads are meant to provide trail access for day use and also for kind of longer distance trail rides. For example, if you lived in Glenshire, you could get on your bike and ride down to Boca, and you could hop on one of our trail segments under construction that goes up to Verdi Ridge, and then will connect out towards Dog Valley, eventually going to Sierra Valley, and then out east towards Susanville, and you could even go west towards Downeyville or all the way up to Chester. So that's a lot of new trail that might be available someday. With that being said, there is a long distance trail that exists between these communities you might be familiar with. That's called the Pacific Crest Trail. And I want to mention this because it points out the key differences in the reason for our project, which is the Pacific Crest Trail. This is a wilderness-based experience. It's about being out in nature, but not really about connecting into the communities. Whereas our Connected Communities project is about the towns. It's about creating staging areas. It's about bringing people there. And it's also about the locals, giving them trails, giving them a piece of the recreation economy. And we definitely speak to mental health, of course. Trails are, I think we all know, a really important part of that. And I think a big reason why we all live here. And these communities would really benefit from trails for themselves and also the economic opportunity that comes with people visiting to go out on trails. So again, PCT is wilderness-based long distance. Connected Communities is about draining people back into the communities themselves or starting them from the communities so that they can go out and have an adventure and then come back and sponsor the local businesses and interact with these towns themselves. So it's about the economic revitalization of the areas. So our project is quite extensive, and this is a multi-decade project. It's not something that's going to happen very quickly. If we were to build everything today, right now, it would cost about $51 million. Trails are incredibly expensive, and that does not even include our maintenance on trails as well going into the future. So we need your support, we need your help, and Truckee is a community within our Connected Communities project. So we are always seeking donations, both public and private, and we are always seeking volunteers. So for those of you with your organizations and you maybe sponsor some employee volunteer days, please reach out. We would love to have you out on the trail, just helping dig in the dirt and actually physically getting this project going. If you're interested in volunteering or donating, you can visit our website, sierratrails.org. You can also come find me after the end of the presentation, and I will give you my business card, and I can help you kind of get connected to our organization and what we do. Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Kelly. Appreciate it. All right, now we're going to go around the room with stump speeches. Caveat to those of you that are running for a elected position, we are told because this is a polling place, you cannot give stump speeches about what you are going to do. You can just give your name and the position you're running for. Is that correct, Jessica? Okay, there we go. So don't break the rules, people, please. Yes, in the back.
With Leadership, North Lake Tahoe, Truckee. And you heard a lot about what is going on in Truckee these days, a lot of projects and programs. And the reason that those projects and programs are being successful is because people are stepping up and becoming leaders. And here's the thing though, we need more, right? And that's where the leadership program comes in. So 20 years ago, Steve Teixeira and Lynn Saunders and people from the North Tahoe Business Association got together and decided that we needed a leadership program that encompassed all of North Lake Tahoe and Truckee. And since then, we have created this program that teaches leadership skills and introduces different community topics in order to build these leaders who are stepping up and joining these programs and creating these projects. So we are now accepting applications for our leadership program. You can go to TahoeTruckeeLeadership.com. Our program starts in January, goes January through June. There's a lot of information in this brochure. Yes, that is Erica on the front. If you have any questions, I am happy to stick around. I do want to point out that two out of the four presenters today are alumni of our program. And
who are they? Raise your hands. There we go.
Public speaking, you guys are great public speakers, and part of it is because of the program, right? Of course. There you go.
Everything I learned was from hearing.
Oh, there you go.
Thank you. Who else? Yes. Music.
Yes, actually my name is Martha. I'll go for music. And we had such a good time this past weekend. On Friday, the Inside Chamber players went over to Alder Creek Middle School. You probably know this is a school of about 600 students, and 120 of them are in the band. And the Inside Chamber players held their rapt attention for 9 minutes. On Sunday, they gave a concert at Olympic Valley Chapel, and it was wonderful. We have one more concert in this year's series. It's November 8th. It is a piano concert, classical piano. It'll be at Cornerstone Church in Incline. And I just want to make an invitation. I hate turning people away. But at every concert, we have had people who wanted to come and we did not have the space for them. I guess we have four needs. One is a place that holds maybe 150 people with great acoustics, because we're bringing world-class musicians for friendly spaces, for great listening experience. The acoustics have to be great. The instruments have to be great. Many musicians bring their own, but the pianists cannot. And we have very few places where there is a performance-worthy piano. The other is that we're growing, and if you have an interest in helping us on the board or as a volunteer, please see me. There's a poster about our next concert. Tim Woolsey will be playing Brahms, Chopin, and Haydn. Wonderful classical pieces.
Great, thank you. Who else? Yes.
Alright, I'm with the Tahoe Truckee Community Foundation, and we're hosting Give Back Tahoe giving season from December 3rd to December 31st. And this collective giving campaign raises awareness about our local nonprofit missions and encourages community members who live and visit here to give back to Tahoe's nonprofits. If you're a nonprofit, registration is open through November 5th, and the kickoff webinar is today from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. And if you're a business owner or community member, please consider learning more about it through givebacktatahoe.org. Sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Amber?
Yes, for anyone that has a student in the school district, we have 2 school safety nights coming up. So we'll have one on November 12th over at North Tahoe High School and one on November 13th at Alder Creek Middle School. And it's an opportunity to hear about our school safety plans. We'll have local law enforcement there, how we partner with law enforcement. So if anyone's interested in learning about our safety plans, please join us.
Thank you. Ruth?
Speaking for Mira with Toys for Tots, she is in dire need of volunteers to help with the North Lake Tahoe portion of the Toys for Tots. Sir Optimus Truckee Donner handles the Truckee portion in conjunction with the Truckee Community Cares, but we're in dire need to help get the toy boxes and such out for solicitation and donations. So if anybody knows of anyone that would be interested in helping, she would be.
Okay, thank you. Yes.
I don't know how many of you sing on a regular basis. Can I just see how many of you sing?
Sing.
To whom? So what I want you, as a neuroscientist, what I want you to know is that you sang long before you could speak. And if you look at the neurochemistry of a person's brain and understand what is stabilizing and what is beneficial, singing is the most important thing you can do for your own mental health. So if you don't sing, start singing. And it doesn't matter. You don't have to be good. That's not an issue. You know, we talk about great musicians and things like that, but we're talking about you, and we're talking about your mental health. I'm with the Truckee Tahoe Community Chorus, and we've been in existence from 2000 or so, and what we're all about is making the community sing. You cannot be unhappy when you're singing. So it's a very natural part of your personality. So we do several concerts during the year, and they're very well received. And our whole intention is to make every one of you sing on a regular basis. So if you don't think you can sing, that's nonsense. You were born with that ability. And we decondition that in everybody, that we're not artists, we're not creative. We can't express ourselves in the world unless it's in some kind of constructive business-related experience. And I want you to know that's all nonsense. And if your mental health is not where you want it to be, what I suggest you do is start singing in the shower. And you will find an amazing response to that in terms of your day. So, and if you want to sing in an organized way, come join us at Truckee Tahoe Community Chorus. And we have 60 plus singers. And we're educated by some of the best from the University of Reno, a choral organization that teaches us how to have a better experience with our singing. So
great.
Don't hesitate, just get involved, just start singing.
It's Monday nights,
Thank
right?
you.
And Monday nights.
Monday nights, all right.
Monday nights, thank you.
Yes, Dr. Rob.
So, hi, good morning. My name is Rob Darshankevich. I'm running for Tahoe Forest Hospital District Board of Directors. So this is not a political, I want to make sure. So if I
Cut him off!
Exactly. But as a community member, physician, someone who is a co-founder and startup of a telehealth company that does physical and mental health for children through schools. You know, I just a couple of things that I have questions. I have just questions about this. One is, you know, thank you for your presentations, first of all. And so it brings up a lot of questions in my head. It's like, how can the Tahoe Forest Hospital work, you know, build more jobs and work together with the commerce of really keeping jobs here, good jobs available as well. I thought it was really interesting to hear on the Tahoe 2040 plan, your partners. And so my questions are, I didn't see Tahoe Forest Hospital, but how does that fit in, right? One of the biggest employers for that as well. There's a good book. Sorry, there's a book that I'm reading called Bowling Alone. It's really about civic engagement. It's called about social bonding and social bridging, how civic engagement actually helps with the mental health of the community. So I'm glad that mental health is a topic here, and I think it's just, in my journey in the last month, I think it's been really impressive how civic engagement and meeting everyone, really people want to live better. And bringing that connection together, it's just been a joy. So thank you, and
Great.
I didn't get beat. Yes.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay. We are now going to move on to door prizes. I'm going to sing everybody make you all feel better, Jim. Can you serenade?
I could make the world a better place by not singing.
You just want to make Truckee great again, right? That's you, Jim. All right, up first we have a ball cap and a Truckee tote bag. Oh, she just walked out. Sorry, Amy. You lost. All right. Jody Lister with the ball cap and Truckee tote bag.
Oh, there she is.
Oh, sorry, you lost your door prize by leaving too early. You know, next time. All right. One Tahoe Donner complimentary day pass for what? Downhill and or cross country. Not sitting in their lodge though. Apparently that's getting developed. I don't know. I just heard about that. Good on you. Good on you. All right. Return ticket to Good Morning Truckee and a Truckee Love sticker. This will go to Mark Wasley with the Truckee Sanitary District. Mark. Last but not least, in the spirit of Halloween, a Halloween pumpkin. Oh, look, it even glows. We do big things here at the chamber. Bob Barnett. Thank you all for coming. Our next Good Morning Truckee is Tuesday, November 19th, and that's going to be the Ski Resort Roundup. Always popular. Get here early. We will see you all there. Have a great day.